Welcome back to Our Vision Farm, guys. If you follow our Facebook page, I shared in my stories that we just put our first eggs in the incubator from our white Plymouth Rock chickens. So I'm going to just leave that alone. This is only day 2, the first full day today, because I put them in the incubator last night. So these will be ready to hatch in about 20 more days. We're very excited to see what hatches. These are the first ever eggs that the hens have started laying. So we don't know how good of a hatch rate we will get from them since they're first time layers, but we do have roosters in there with them, so the eggs should be fertilized. So I'll definitely share with you guys how many end up hatching and like how the hatch rate went on that. These are going to be our future egg layers and meat chickens on our farm, so we're very excited to get started on those, and from here on out we'll continue hatching them. Today I'm going to get started on cleaning out their last garden that we haven't cleaned out yet. Here is our meat chickens. We moved them outside because they don't require a heat lamp anymore. My husband is cutting the grass right now, so that's probably the noise that you're hearing. So we have our 50 meat birds. I see we got an escapee over here. I gotta go get it back out or back into the pool. But we just have them all separate since they're getting so big. We have them out here. Before, when they were little, I had them in one of these bins. As they grew, I split them up into 2 bins, and now that they're even bigger, I added the kiddie pool as well. So they're just out here in our patio, and they are due to go outside. I'm going to put them outside in their hoop house very soon, but we're waiting on a part from the Premier One fencing that we had to try to figure out what is wrong with our Energizer, the solar powered Energizer, because it's still under the 2-year warranty. So what we did is contact them and tell them that we couldn't get the fence to work, and they sent us a piece to try to replace on the Energizer, but it didn't work. So now they sent us a new piece that's supposed to get here tomorrow. So if that piece is not it also, then I guess they will just send us a new Energizer, unless that is what was wrong with it. So it should work after that, and then I'll be ready to put these chicks outside in the hoop house with the extra safety from the solar powered fence, just to keep any like the ground predators from getting in there at night. It's more for peace of mind for myself, that I know there's at least a barrier in between a predator getting into the hoop houses. So they'll have to cross the barrier of the electric fence before being able to get to our chickens. But we're also keeping our chickens really close to our bedroom window in the front of the house, so we'll be able to hear, at least I hope that we'll be able to hear if there is any loud commotion or any animals trying to get to our birds. We should be able to wake up at night. So let me get these chickens. I think I saw 1 or 2 that got out. I don't know how they squeezed through the gate of this fence. And I got those in. So let me show you really quick the other gardens, the ones we already did. So the last video I did, we left off at this garden and we planted our acorn squash and the white scallop squashes in here, and those are doing really good. I'm very happy with their progress. The day after we planted them, we actually got rain a couple days after, so it rained almost every single day. I only had to water the 1 day after we planted them, so that is really good, and they are growing. I believe every single one we planted is growing and thriving. This one even already has what looks like little tiny flower buds. Not sure if that's good because it's kind of early for that, but you can see there it has little tiny flower buds. And then there's 2 more over here, that one over there. So those are doing really good. Fingers crossed that they just continue to thrive and spread around. And then in the back we have the big garden. Me and the family cleaned out together the other day. So this one back here was completely covered in weeds, but we all cleaned it out and picked the weeds by hand. Some of them have grown back at this point, but all we have going in here is our pumpkin plants. We have a couple of them more towards the back. I don't know if you can even see them from here. Like there's one right there. right there. And then there's a couple here, but I think they're getting eaten by bugs too. They're getting eaten by the little green caterpillars. So we'll see. As long as we get 1 or 2 plants to stick and thrive, I think that will be plenty to fill out this whole garden. If not, like everything else, we'll just try to plant something else in here. It's a huge spot and it is cleared from weeds right now, so we can definitely get some crops growing in here. But what we're working on today is the flower garden, the one that got really overgrown with weeds a while ago, and we worked our butts off to clean it up. Right now it's starting to grow a lot of weeds back, so we want to get it back under control before it gets to how it was before. So I'm heading there now. This is our flower / blueberry garden, and then anything else that we decide to plant. We did plant vegetable seeds in the boxes not that long ago, but I don't think a lot of them really did anything. Our long yard beans are just about done. They covered this trellis really nicely, but they didn't produce a lot of beans, at least not a lot for us to actually like cook with. Here's one that dried out. So I don't know if that was really a good spot for those. We planted carrots in these tubs and nothing has grown. So I'm guessing that carrots do not grow good in these pots, or maybe the soil is missing something. So this is what our flower garden looks like right now. We have a mixture of flowers, mixture of herbs, and some weeds in here. So I've got to get these boxes cleaned out a little bit. They're actually not too bad, but you can see there is some weed growth in them. From the vegetable seeds we planted, I'm not really seeing much. We had radishes, we harvested radishes, and there's some overgrown radishes that obviously we never got into. This actually looks like a turnip, that purple one. But there's some overgrown radishes here that we never got to harvest. But we have flowers. We got flowers for the butterflies and the bees. So it's not too much of a wasted space. But then when we get back here, you can see it's starting to get overgrown again. It happens so fast, honestly. Just a week or 2 of not coming back here, and the weeds just take over. We have some papayas growing here. I remember planting those not too long ago, and look how big they are. I have another papaya, I think planted itself in this pot right here. And then here, it's just weeds and grasses in between these little walkways. We still have our pepper bushes, still doing good, has lots of ripe peppers in there. Sounds like it's about to rain. That papaya is doing really good. There's flowers off of it. Very excited. Then we planted scallop squashes, butternut squash, and acorn squash. So it looks like our squash plants are getting hit by the caterpillars and bugs. So here's those little, I don't know if they're called cabbage loopers or something else, but you definitely want to get rid of those. I just squished them with my hand because those, as you can see, they eat the plant. They eat all the leaves off of it, and it kills the plant. Then they also like to fold under the leaves and lay, oh, I don't know if they lay eggs. They turn into a moth. They kind of cocoon themselves. They turn themselves into another moth, and then the moths come and lay the eggs under the leaves again, and it just continues the cycle. So by the looks of it, this was an acorn squash. You can see a little one hanging in there, but I'm not sure if they're gonna do really good because the plants are definitely suffering. You can see here, there's no leaves left. So the bugs and the worms have eaten all of it. So somewhere here it was butternut squash. I still see the plant here with some flowers, but I don't see any actual pumpkins growing. And then the white scallop squash was supposed to be somewhere here too, but I don't see it anymore. The plant probably died off shortly after it had sprouted. But look at our papaya. Our papaya is doing really good. Has flowers growing off of it, so we should be getting something soon from it. This papaya actually died during the winter. It froze and then it just bounced back from the root system. It grew back all on its own. We didn't have to do anything special to it. So the fact that it has flowers right now is a good sign that we should get fruit from it this year before we get hit by any winter weather. This tree is doing really good too. It has finally really grown. It's taller than me now. It's some type of, I think, plantain or banana tree. I'm leaning more towards like a plantain, I think is what my dad told me. He bought me this. He brought me this as a pup, probably the size of that, maybe a little bit bigger. And look how big it's gotten. This has also died last winter. It completely died off, but then it just bounced right back. We have a passion fruit vine here. It has finally starting to climb up where I want it to climb up. It started off down there, but I gotta still train it because you see it's starting to go to the left. I want it to grow to the right side and just take over this whole fence line. So I gotta train it and maybe even put some zip ties to get that going in the direction I want it to, because I don't want it to come over here on this side of the garden. Lots of weeds to clean up. This is what was it? It's a flower. Can't remember the name of it right now, but it kind of starts off looking like a zucchini plant. Once I get this cleared out from weeds, you'll see them better, but there's 3 of them here. It's some type of flower that grows really tall, and it gets nice, pretty hibiscus looking flowers all along the stem. I wish I could remember the name. Back here is another papaya, and then we don't got much else going on there, just weeds everywhere. But at least we got something to look forward to, like the papayas. Still got those red peppers. We've been having deers come into this garden. I can see their little deer prints, but I don't see too much plant damage. This beautyberry bush right here is a volunteer beautyberry bush, and it comes back every single year. So I really want to get something made out of these. If you have any recipes for beautyberries, let me know. I think it's only a Florida thing. I'm not sure. The plant is native to Florida. I think I might try beautyberry syrup. I've seen people make that. I think it's hard to make jelly out of it because you need a lot of pectin, and beautyberry doesn't really taste like much. It has slightly of a floral taste, but not like really strong. So I might just make like a simple syrup out of it, because we have a big bush in the front of our fence with beautyberries. We have this big one right here, and we got a bunch in the back of our property. We just posted a video checking up on the back property, the forest area, and there's some beautyberries there. Banana tree, 2 there, getting really big. This one that had bananas on it this year, or plantains, they look like they're starting to slightly get yellow, so I'm definitely gonna pick these and let them finish ripening up, like on the counter or something. There's not a lot of them on there, but the ones that did grow on there are really big, so we want to save those and not have like a pest or something eat them before we get to them. So that is pretty much it. This is my job I want to get done by the end of today. It's clean this garden back out. It's not nearly as bad as it was the first time we did it, but it can easily get to that like that if I don't go ahead and start on it right now. So that is what I'm doing.